Hey everyone, it's Julie. Today we'll be making chicken parm sliders, perfect for parties. The kids will love these and you will too. So let's get started. So let's start by making our sauce. Drizzled in a little bit of olive oil and we are going to saute our shallots and garlic. I am using shallots because that's what I had on hand. So because shallots burn very quickly, they're just like garlic, both burn quickly, so I'm just going to toss it in at the same time. And now I love to add red pepper flakes to my sauce, so let's look for those. Never prepared. I like lots of red pepper flakes. And now I'm going to pour in the sauce. Now, I don't really like jarred sauce because it's very sweet, but because I'm at my grandma's house and she had this on hand, I decided to just use it. Give everything a stir. And I like to add a little bit of oregano. And a tad bit of red wine. Let me just go ahead and pour in a little bit of red wine. I'm going to pour in a little bit of red wine. Give it a stir. And now, normally I always, when I make my sauce, I like to add a little bit of brown sugar. But because jarred sauce is already sweet, I'm going to omit the sugar this time. Alright, so I'm going to season this with some salt and pepper. And I like to just toss in a little bit of basil. This is basically how I normally make my sauce, but this time we're using jarred. And jarred is not bad as long as you add a little bit of garlic, salt, pepper, onions, a little bit of basil, a little bit of red wine, and you're in jarred tomato sauce heaven. Here I have 4 thinly sliced chicken breasts. I season them on both sides with salt and pepper. You can season them to your liking, of course. I always season the flour as well with salt and pepper, and the breadcrumbs too. The only thing I do not season is the eggs, but I normally hit it with a little bit of hot sauce, but that of course is optional. Dredge each breast in the flour, both sides, and shake off any excess flour. Then you want to dip it in the egg, and then dredge on both sides in the seasoned breadcrumbs. And now you might be thinking that because this is finger food, it shouldn't be this tedious to prepare, but I wanted to share how I made it. Of course, you can just use the jarred sauce as is, and even use cooked chicken tenders to make this, which is how I saw it on a magazine, but I decided to make it with a little more love. But I did see this in a magazine, so no, I did not invent the chicken parm slider, unfortunately. All right, let's fry up the chicken cutlets for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side or until fully cooked. And the first part of this video, if you notice, I didn't do a voiceover, I just talked while I cooked, but then I couldn't believe my ears halfway through the video. A lot of unnecessary chatter went on, so I decided to finish it off with a voiceover, which I still ramble during voiceovers, but live was very, very bad. All right, so let's chop the chicken cutlets. You may do it in 3 pieces like this and then have it stick out of the buns, but I'm just going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. Not really bite-sized pieces, but like pieces that can fit the slider. See the rambling? All right, so these are homemade butter rolls. Just kidding, these are store-bought, but you can make them at home if you prefer. Take a serrated knife, slice them in half, and now we're ready to build our little sliders. And the sauce simmered for about 25 minutes over medium-low heat. I placed the delicious chicken pieces on top of the bread, and that chicken was so good and almost didn't make it on the bread. I poured very little sauce because I didn't want the bread to get soggy, but pour on as much or as little as you like. I sprinkled a little Parmesan cheese on top and then some grated mozzarella cheese. I placed it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 4 minutes or until the cheese melted, and then I placed the buns on top. I brushed them with a little butter. I just wanted to warm up the buns for about 2 minutes. I didn't want them to get hard, and it can get hard if left in the oven for too long. This is what the sliders look like when they came out of the oven. The chicken was still very crispy. It was super flavorful. The buns were nice and soft and buttery. These were really cheesy. I really enjoyed these.
Look at that. I really hope you guys give this a try. It was delicious. Let me know if you do. And I want to thank you all so much for watching.